bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bosch's World. I am Bosch, your host. This is my new monthly vlog. It's not just a vlog, it's like a variety show. Like you mix everything I've ever done on this channel and throw it into a pot and it's Bosch's World. From Bosch Fit to Quarantine to What the Bosch Was I Thinking. Yes, this is a blatant ripoff of Wayne's World. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. It's the reason I had a public access show in high school that lasted one episode. I sing the songs at karaoke from Bohemian Rhapsody to Ballroom Blitz. This month is going to be a little different because I just thought of this idea maybe like 2 days ago. I don't have myself filming for this vlog throughout the month, which I will be doing moving forward. So this month of July 2023 has been very special. It is my first full month in my new apartment with my beautiful fiance Apryl. It's something I've wanted for so long, and I think for a while I started thinking that it might not even be possible or it might not ever happen, but it is happening, and I couldn't be happier. Every month I'm gonna have a throwback of the month, and I guess there's no better time than now to lead into it. There's only one moment I can think of in July, and that is July 21st, 2006, the day that Apryl and I officially became a couple. I've shared pics from it a ton of times, but this is the first time I'm ever going to share the video of us towards the end of the night. We were hanging out at a friend's house, partying. You can hear the excitement in my voice now that Apryl's finally my girlfriend.
Did you have a good day today?
I had a wonderful day.
Really? Why?
Because I got a girl now.
Cause what?
Because I got a girl now.
Oh, you do? What's her name?
Her name's Apryl.
Her name's what?
April.
April what?
Lavera.
You like her?
I'll say hi.
Aww. Do you want to send her a kiss?
Huh?
Do you want to give her a kiss?
Yes.
Blow her a kiss.
So every year I would go to her place, her parents' place, and we'd see the fireworks from the window. And I thought this year I wanted to do something different. So I invited them here, and I thought there's been so many times you hosted me, you guys took care of me, you fed me. I said, let me return the favor. Let me invite you guys over to our apartment. Let me feed you guys, and we can watch the fireworks from our roof. Sentimentally, it meant so much for me to be able to return. I mean, there's no way I could ever return all the favors and all the wonderful things her family and her parents especially have done for me. It was like one of those like moments of accomplishment. Like, it wasn't like a financial accomplishment, it was more like an emotional one. So check out some of the fun footage from us up here on this roof for the 4th of July to enjoy the fireworks. I already did a vlog going to the major IPA launch and GCW the following night earlier this month, so you can check those out on my channel. So I don't really need to go into much detail on those because those have their own vlog.
Purple vest was a shirt guy. We're wearing the same shoes.
I got kind of tired of just having a half hour of wrestling footage that you can easily just see the actual events online.
Yeah!
Speaking of wrestling events, I went to AEW Collision in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center.
How's it going? It's Bosch, aka Perps, and I'm here in Newark on my way to AEW Collision, where I'm gonna be a seat filler, so I don't even know where the hell I'm sitting or how many different places I'm gonna be sitting tonight, but here we go. Okay, trying to figure out where the event staff entrance is. Hopefully I can make it there before 5 because I have no idea where I'm going. I found it.
Basically, the role of a seat filler is to fill a seat. Anytime that there may be an empty seat on camera, I met up with Aaron Ortiz, so we kind of stuck together, and anywhere that we could find an empty seat, we sat. We saw Mary Kate, so it was great seeing some major marks that I don't really get to see on a regular basis. It was a pretty fun show. I got to see CM Punk wrestle for the first time in a little over a decade. Billy Gunn took off his boots in the ring and teased retirement. Ricky Starks had best fireworks display I've ever seen, probably better than the fireworks display that I saw here on July 4th. Leave it in the comments below, vote who had the better fireworks, Macy's or Ricky Starks. And here are some other highlights from the show, including seeing Mark Sterling and other wrestlers. So check out this quick little montage of highlights from the show instead of making it a half-hour individual vlog on my channel when you can just see it on TNT.
Powerhouse. You want a shot at what's in the bag, Ricky? Like my good friend CM Punk.
Ass boys!
Introducing ourselves accompanied by Julia Hart.
The House of Black getting sniped out. Leave you on the floor like it's drugs at the White House. Your reception is lukewarm, but y'all are my favorite category. You're Newport. It's just a bunch of goth chicks. Hey, buddy, you're looking kind of nauseous. There's a lot that I can...
had to be Gigi to get them started, right?
Actually, today on the train on my way home, I finished my 10th book of the year. I don't think I've ever finished 10 books in a single year, much less in the first 7 months. But my secret, I've been reading 2 books at a time. I have one physical book that I'll read at home during downtime or on the train, and I have another book that I will read digitally on my iPad when I'm on the treadmill or also on a longer train ride. So that's been my secret, and I just finished Will Smith's autobiography, probably the book I connected with the most of the books that I read in 2023 so far. A lot of similar insecurities that I've gone through, even his relationship with his father. So much so that it makes sense why he did what he did at the Oscars. Not that it justifies it, not that it was the right thing to do, but I'm also not going to judge Will Smith on his one bad moment, considering he told stories of like wishing he could have protected his mother against his father. It makes sense why he felt the need to protect Jada in that moment. Also his way of coping with pain by making people laugh or just living in your own little world, or just being so focused on all these projects that like you don't really have time to like think about the negative. I thought I really connected to his book, and I do highly recommend it, and I would suggest please don't judge a person on their one worst moment. It's a shame that it happened moments before the biggest accomplishment of his professional career. It's something that he's been working towards his entire life. It just sucks that him finally winning an Oscar is overshadowed by that one slip up. So another segment I want to do every month is the vulnerable moment of the month. One of the things that really got the wheels turning on this vlog series was surprisingly the Selena Gomez documentary on Apple Plus. An amazing documentary, super emotional. I just feel terrible for everything she's been through. A lot of things hit close to home, but those aren't the things I'm discussing right now. Maybe in the future, once I feel a little more comfortable opening up about some struggles I've had. But I think I'm gonna pick out one moment in particular in her documentary where she was interviewed in England in 2019 during her comeback. She left the interview pretty upset. I think she just wasn't a fan of the questions, and she thought the interview was a waste of her time. And I guess that kind of struck me, and it hit my insecurities, where it's like, just a little backstory. When I applied for this job, it was an editing position, but then I would also be interviewing artists, which I had zero experience doing when I came into that job, and I learned on the job as I continued going. Over a span of 2.5 years, I interviewed numerous artists. Some I never heard of prior to the interview and became a fan of or became pretty cool with. Some I've interviewed multiple times. Some artists that I looked up to since I was a teenager. And I think that was always my insecurity, was I never wanted any artist to leave talking shit or disappointed with the interview, or like, oh God, that interview sucked, or that guy sucked, and why was he asking me those stupid questions? And there were times where I would do some great interviews and I would follow up and it felt more natural, like a conversation. And there were times where I wasn't as comfortable and it kind of felt robotic. And I was always aware of it. I don't think I was ever oblivious to that fact. I think I always knew I wasn't going to be as skilled as some of my coworkers at interviewing, because they had way more experience than I did. And I looked up to a lot of them, and I tried my best to like kind of emulate the things that they did that worked for them. So yeah, that kind of just hit me like, I hope I never had an artist say that about me, and if they did, I'm sorry. Other than that, I don't think I really had any negative experiences. It's either been pretty straightforward, or some that I get along with great, some that end up following me on social media, some that will recognize me when I go to their concerts. Hello there, I'm Bosch. And this vlog is just gonna be as fun as possible. Bosch's world. It's just giving everybody a glimpse into my world. Kind of inspired by like what Sammy Guevara and Ethan Page do with their vlogs. This is a route I've kind of always wanted to take, but never thought I could pull it off. At first I was like, can I do this weekly? No, I can't do this shit weekly. That's just way too much pressure to put on myself, at least with a month. I have time to take my time working on these vlogs and editing them and putting everything together and coming out with a layout. This is only the first month. I literally just thought of this idea 2 days ago, created the logo, created the intro. That's just the way I work. Like sometimes I'll go months without thinking of something to work on, and then 1 minute I'll be just sitting there and something will hit me and I'll run with it. That's kind of like what happened with What the Boss Was I Thinking. Quarantine was more of a spur of the moment thing because of the pandemic. This is still pretty raw, but I'm hoping maybe by August, September, as I move on towards the end of the year, coming up with like that Bosch's World style, where like you'll watch it and you'll know you're watching Bosch's World. So yeah, this is only the pilot, so bear with me. It's not perfect. I know it's not perfect. Trust me, nobody will judge this as much as I will. I think this is the next step in BoschStar Productions, and you can pick up your BoschStar Productions drawstring bag at redbubble.com. You can follow me on Instagram. Well, my personal account is private, so you can follow at BoschStar Prod on Instagram. Subscribe to my channel. If you're already here, just hit that subscribe button. That's all. It doesn't cost you a penny to do it. Follow me on X. Yeah, follow me on X. That's what we gotta say now. It's not Twitter anymore. That's fucking weird. I look forward to seeing how this project, how this series will grow from here. I think that's how I've always approached all of my projects. And I learn as I go. That's the only way I know how to do things. But thank you guys for joining me for the July edition of Bosch's World. And I will see you all next month. Thank you once again. And I love this view. It's so beautiful up here. Might be on the opposite side.
Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's bright orange.
I can see it from my apartment. I'll check it out from the
Okay.
apartment.